Hello there, fellow summoners. MaddogHT here. We're going into the new season, Season 32 of Alliance War. We have the new tactic in place, Unstoppable Armor. Here's a little graphic that I made. This is also on my community post section if you want a copy of it that you can just save off. But it shows all the Unstoppable Armor champs. It's not the most difficult node to deal with, but it can be tricky for some situations. But yeah, they basically have a timer every 10 seconds. They'll get an armor up buff, and that's a 30% chance to also trigger a passive unstoppable. So that's what we're going to be dealing with this season. So let's get into our first war. And for our first war, we're going up against Noxious Smoke. And if you were watching my Alliance War stuff last season, if you happen to remember, this was our opponent against on war number 12. And we had to win to secure Masters, and we did. We beat them 11-6. So here's a quick peek at the maps that we're dealing with, that we have to attack against. And yeah, there are some interesting matchups. I know that, you know, this is first war of the season, and unfortunately not everybody treats the off season as they should. So we got some learning curves to do, and you can see that we had Ghost, Corvus, and Quake Band. So I'm going up path 2. We have this Ebony Maw here. I was just checking out my items and seeing if I had anything like close to expiring. Throw on some boost. Now here it has the Strike, Counter, Fury, Power Struggle. Now here's the key. If you knock Ebony Maw down, he will start focusing, and that is when he will give you less power gain. So the whole key here is I'm going to go in with Torch. I'm going to put on an Invuln boost just for safety, but I'm not going to knock him down. I'm not going to use my heavy. And, you know, I might get faltered, but I'm going to have a high enough temperature, 10 or above, to where I don't have to worry about the miss. So I'm just going to be parrying, reparrying, building up my smolders, and I'm going to throw my special one right when he gets to his special one. Now if I would have knocked him down, I would have gotten like a half a bar, and then he would have just gotten, you know, more of those passive furies from the strike counter. But you can see, you know, he is getting a little bit of those furies, but it's nothing to be too concerned with. And with the way that I played, I didn't even have him be able to nullify that fury for that degen. Super clean, easy fight, don't knock him down. That was my whole game plan for that one. Now here I'm going to throw on Suicide's Liquid Courage Double Edge for this one and the next fight. Normally I do not do this, and I'm not too concerned about this Mr. Negative fight on the Strike, Counter, Fury, Brute Force, Power Focus 1. This is node 14. But the ManThing, I just want to make that fight as quick as possible, because as you know, last season, it was one of the last wars of the season. I almost timed out. I literally threw a special 3 to kill him as the clock expired. So I want to make that go faster. So let's talk about this Mr. Negative fight first. I'm going to be parrying, which normally you do not want to do, but I want to be able to get my rock stacks up. And if I wasn't parrying, just hits into the block will only give me 1 rock stack. So at the beginning, I'm going to be parrying 1 hit to make sure I deal with the brute force timer. Parry 1 hit. And then once I get to 20, I am going to... Sorry, not 20. I get to 20, I get him to 10, and then I'm just going to be holding block, attacking, trying to let that timer go out. If he threw a special, I would have got the Delirium debuff on me. Controls would have been reversed. I also practiced parrying him and then just doing a heavy and knocking him down and triggering the Delirium manually and then just dealing with it. But you're gonna see, if you play Mr. Negative like with a hard block, so 4-hit combo, boom, hard block, he just loves to not throw his special, loves to hit into your block, throw the heavy, and you're gonna see in this fight, Mr. Negative does not throw 1 single special. Now, was I expecting him to not throw any? No, I thought he was gonna throw maybe 1 or 2. But I do have that poison on me from Liquid Courage. It's actually healing me while I have protection up. And then we just end with a special 3 when we know this is pretty much just gonna be lights out. So yeah, that went pretty smooth. And you know, dealing with Mr. Negative Specials isn't that big of a thing. You just don't want to parry and give him light energy and then he throw it and you get your controls reversed and you just get wrecked because you're not ready for it. But yeah, that went well. So now we have ManThing, no 20, Strike Counter Fury, Hit Me I Dare You, Static Defense, Masochism. He's an unstoppable armor champ, and that static defense, every 10 hits he's going to get an armor up buff. He has a chance to go 30% chance to go unstoppable passively and remove any stuns. And this is why I put the Liquid Courage double edge on, was just to make this fight go much faster. So we have White Magneto Guidance. You can see there that armor on that 10th hit that got triggered from the static defense, it did trigger the passive unstoppable. And you know, if you don't have a slow champ, you really don't have a way to get around that. You're gonna have to hit them even while under the stun. They'll become stun immune and they can just smack you right back and retaliate. So do need to be careful with that. I do have an invuln boost on. Hopefully I'm not going to eat a special 3. This guy does have some decent MD. It looks like it's 4 out of 5. Let's look at this MD shoot up. Maybe even just 3 out of 5. But I do need to be aware of that with my dex and the Pustel buffs that he puts on you. He can't nullify those, so they just have to fall off naturally for the MD to trigger. Here I'm trying to bait this guy to throw a special 2. He's in the corner, and I do get hit by the second part of that. I'm losing Indestructible. And I just wish this guy would be a little bit more aggressive throwing the specials. We're just gonna try to block a bunch, but boom, you can see that MD, it's not maxed for sure, but it is going to you know, come into play, especially at the end of the fight. So you know, every 10 hits, that little blue fist meter right there, you know, he could have triggered an unstoppable and retaliated. So ManThing, you know, we had Quake banned. Quake would be the preferred option for this particular matchup. We did try a Red Hulk in the off season as well, and that did work. There you can see that 10th hit triggers the unstoppable. Plus you have that timer coming around every 10 seconds that can trigger the unstoppable with the armor up. And then here you can just see he wasn't throwing, he's being a little bit too passive, so I just went for it. I do have a 12% special boost on for science, and I'm like, okay, this better kill him, and it surely does. So we get out of that fight, and it was significantly faster than pretty much the full 5+ minute fight that I had last season. So the Suicide's Liquid Courage double edge definitely helped out. And also I did have the WhMags guidance pre-fight to get the guaranteed stuns, which is really nice to bypass the Masochism. So we move up. We could have taken that Mordo with the Torch, but we didn't have an extra WhMags, so we ended up assigning that to Moleman, which is a great counter, and Alan. He did a great job on that. Here I'm just swapping off my masteries. We're in section 2, we're going up path 1, just resetting them back to my normal stuff. I usually don't use units to swap around my masteries all that much, but you know, I just want to start off the season right, and I didn't want to fail in section 1, so definitely helped. And this one we're going to go, this is node 30, Vigor, Outlast, it's got a Killmonger. We're going to boost up, we're going to put on the guidance from WhMags, and we're going to use WhMags. I put on a Power Start 1 because I wanted to throw this off quickly, get an armor break, but his armor break, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, I thought it was guaranteed, but looking back at the abilities, it's only a 70% chance. So we do trigger Reverb, but because he was at no power, we didn't have any damage getting reflected. And then we do get a special one off, and we get the armor break. Now we just need to bait some specials and then just keep going at it. Now I did not throw any heavies yet, and I probably should have been throwing some heavies because those heavies, they have like a significantly longer duration on the prowess, and definitely need to get as much damage as possible. But you can see White Magneto rank 3 definitely got plenty of damage, and I'm just going to keep spamming the special ones. I didn't put on a power back boost because those only help with special 2s or special 3s, but I did put on an 8% mutant boost to help out a little bit with the damage. And I got a few heavies in, and we're just gonna keep smashing this guy. It's definitely not the quickest fight by any means, but Magneto does the job, and I get him down with very, very minimal health loss. Yeah, the heavies from the prowess heavies last 30 seconds, and you can get 3 of those. And then the prowess that you get from hitting just regular combos are 10 seconds. So boom, 30k special. So as long as we had the white mags on there, we don't have to worry about the extra power gain on the parries, get those armor breaks, and Magneto House of X does the job, does it well. Now we got a Vision Aarkus on Buffet and Indomitable, no 40. We put on White Mag's Guidance again. This just makes sure that you can get your parries to stick. Otherwise you have to deal with his timer resetting because he can shrug off stuff. We do put on some green science special boost, a 150 and an 8%, just to help cycle some specials. We're going to save for special 2s and or 3s. And here we just need to make sure that I'm not going to heavy at all in this fight unless I'm going to be pushing him to special 3, which doesn't happen. He ends up throwing his special ones pretty reliably. I think he throws 1 special 2, but if he gets the special 3, we just need to throw the heavy, trigger the protection, and yeah, we're just going to smash him out. Here, special 2, just take it into the block. We are armor break immune, so he cannot get cold snap on Thing. Thing is an excellent counter for Vision Aarkus. Now he can't really deal, he's not the most ideal option to deal with the special 3s, but you can trigger protection there. I was just trying to dash back. I wasn't trying to dex the special 2 because I don't have that dex down. I know it's not like the most difficult one, but I just don't have it reliably down. So we do get hit, but protection triggers. So that is on cooldown. So if he were to get to special 3, I would not be able to trigger it. And then here we're just gonna go, and he gets a special 3. Protection is available, but we just smash him with a special 2 and knock him out. So that went okay. Next up, we have Nimrod. So Nimrod is interesting. He is an unstoppable armor champ, so definitely have to be wary. You do need, ideally you need a bleed immune champ here. And our basically go-to options are going to be Thing and possibly Nebula for this season. And my whole strategy here is one, there's a couple ways that he's going to get unstoppables. One from the 10-second timer, that's normal. You're going to see that. And that's the one with the little white angle bracket things on top and bottom. So every 10 seconds he's going to get an armor up, and that can potentially give him an unstoppable armor, or unstoppable passive. And then on the far right, he has his timer where he's switching modes. That is every 11 seconds. So he's going to go from blue Titan to orange Blitz, and every time that switches naturally from the timer, he's also going to get an armor up, and so that can trigger the unstoppable. And then if he parries, which hopefully he doesn't parry you while he's in Titan, he can get armor up and also get the unstoppable passive. So we did have the science boost on. I didn't special start 1 those aren't really going to help a ton, because basically you can pretty much guarantee you get one special if you manage the strike counter well. Outside of that, getting multiple specials is very difficult, because you would have to throw in the Titan mode, which is going to put a cowardice debuff on you, which is going to make your special not hit very hard. But if you throw it in the orange blitz mode, then you're going to get a power drain. And so with having to manage your combo and to avoid those suppressions, you're just not going to get back up to special 1. And pretty much when you're ready to throw your first special, he's already switched to Titan, or to blitz, into that orange blitz mode. So throwing more than one special is difficult. If you power started 1 and you get there quick enough with the power back boosts, you could probably get another special 1. You can throw a special 2 and then throw a special 1. But yeah, we're just gonna smash this guy out. Watch the timers. Be very aware of those, and you don't have to deal with buffet. And Thing does his business, takes down Nimrod. So not too difficult. It took a couple of hits in that fight, but Thing's a tank. And then last up, we're going up on node 48. This is a new node for the season. It's been updated. It used to be the Rage node. It's got feat of Vigilance, power efficiency, return policy, and missing in action. So we're going to go in with a pre-fight torch on the Storm. We're going to get a lot of smolder built up because all of her hits are energy. Put on an indestructible boost just in case we push her to special 2 and we miss that. Or we use a heavy or a special to knock her down and activate both her Tempests. Then she can come unblockable on that special 2. We just don't want to get hit by that. But you can see when we get to 1 bar of power, we're going to give her the Vigilance buff. That's from the Feat of Vigilance node. Now when that expires, or if she has any other buffs expire, which can be her prowess, she's going to have that missing in action, where basically if I don't use a special attack or I don't heavy her down, then I'm going to get faltered. That's fine with Human Torch because she keeps throwing, each one of her hits is an energy attack. I have plenty of temperature to deal with to just bypass the miss altogether. I'm not going to knock her down just because I don't want to initiate her other mode, the Tempest mode, because then she can go unblockable on that special 2. You can see there's a lot of special 1s being thrown, and now she's being kind of stingy with throwing that. And with the power efficiency, she just gets to throw a lot of specials, and I'm just trying to bait this out. It's not going well. There we go. Finally get it. But then look at her. She's 1.5 bars, couple hits, and she's pretty much right back where she left off. So kind of annoying for sure with the power efficiency. But I got a lot of smolders, but I just keep glancing. Like I'm glancing a ton. My Novas are not hitting, which stink. But when they do hit, pretty decent damage. And then here I'm in the corner. I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to push her to special 2, and we're just going to block it. Take a bunch of damage, build up some smolders, and then she dies. So not too terrible with Torch, but yeah, it seemed kind of sketchy. A lot of specials to deal with. And then last up, I'm just going to move up to this Bishop, and I'm going to throw a White Magneto Guidance pre-fight on. We ended up using a Vision for taking this Bishop out with the Conflictor. Can parry all you want, and Mirage Turtle, he was the one that took out that Bishop, did a great job. And as far as the war goes, looking pretty solid right there when we're looking at the scoreboard. But last up, I'm going to showcase Allantres in my battle group. He's a new recruit from last season and did pretty well. He came mid-season, and he has a Sorcerer Supreme. And the funny thing is, we made all the assignments, and we're like, hey, we're going to give you boss duty today with your Sorcerer. And then he's like, I don't really use her. She was a defensive rank up. And we just basically said, you know what, Alan, you're a good player. We trust in you. Go do your duel practices and get her done, because we did our main Sorcerer Supreme player in prior seasons was Ultimate Theory. He's no longer with us. He's on our little retirement break. But yeah, so we're just basically saying, hey, you gotta do this. And with SuperSkrull as the boss, you can get those armor ups, but as long as you have a slow on, you're good to go. And so we had him bring, there was 3 options: Silver Centurion, Jabari, Panther, and somebody else, I can't remember. But if you bring those, you get basically you get a power start 1 with Sorcerer every time. And so that helps to get that slow off. You can start in the right phase. The power gain purple one, I'm not the biggest Sorcerer Supreme now. The Icon's Ingenuity, yeah, that gets you the slow. So every time you throw a special, you get that slow. When you have that up, if you throw the L3, which you saw him do, you bank that ruin. That allows you to get the slow every single time. Now, when we're looking back at this, Allen, he did a great job. He sold the fight. That's all that we really required. Now, is it the fastest and the most efficient way of doing some of the things? No, there's definitely some room for improvement. One thing that we told him that he probably could do better next time is get some drop back special intercepts, and he could have been throwing off a lot more specials and nullifying stuff. So like, he is doing great at dashing back, jumping back in to get close on his special 1 so that he can retaliate after that. But I think the only difference that we probably would have done was, hey, just do some drop back special intercepts. And by that mean, you have a special ready, you let them dash in at you, and you just do a quick dash, throw the special. It's basically what you need to do when you're using Hercules. And I think if you would have done that, this would have gone faster. But regardless, he's throwing these special 3s, and with all the ruins stored up, they do quite a bit of damage. But I do think throwing like some special 1s in there to get the aura up and nullify all these armor ups and everything would have been extremely beneficial. But Sorcerer really just owns this fight fairly easily. Allen does a great job. I think he throws the special 2 a little bit too late. Yeah, the falter comes up, so he does get hit a few times. No big deal. And yeah, Allen's gonna get the solo, so we're really glad. He just, he was a little bit worried, and we're just like, you know what, we got faith in you. You can do it. And yeah, he did the job. He put in the work, put in the practice to make sure that he felt comfortable with this fight. And you can see this, he's got 24% left. He actually got hit there on a heavy and got incinerated. But check this out. Special 3, boom, with all the ruins. 24%. Special 3. Quarter of health on that one special 3. Pretty awesome. So as far as the war goes, we finished with 1 death in our battle group. They ended up with 2, so we won our BG. But unfortunately, we had some first war jitters, mess ups, you name it, it happened. We ended up with 18 deaths. They had 8, so we did lose this war. So war number 1, good job to NXS. They got revenge on us for beating them in the War 12 of last season. As far as I go, I had 7 fights, 7 kills, no deaths. Same stats in the season. We're 0-1. Definitely not how we wanted to start, but yeah, we'll work it out. And then here's something that I'm going to be keeping track of for the season is the boosts that I used. So you can see all of the boosts that I used. Obviously, all of these were War 1. I used 4 Indestructibles. My Think fights were not fast enough to be able to cut back on some of those. And I used 127 units. That was just for some mastery switches. And then 2 health potions. I didn't die, so I didn't need any revives. And then, boost when I could. Put on the class boosts to help. And then I had a 6-hour boost that I used. And it worked out pretty well. So here's my collage of champs that I've used and who I've defeated. So we got 4 Thing fights, 2 Torch fights, and a White Magneto. Magneto House of X. And yeah, looking forward to just smashing out this season. For me, got the job done today, had some fun. It's going to be interesting with this tactic. It's not the most difficult tactic, but I feel like it takes, you know, a little bit slower play to work around. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next war video coming soon. Thanks and peace.